Let's stay on the roads. Traffic officials are on high alert at the Kei Bridge today as holiday travel peaks ahead of Christmas. Long queues are expected as motorists rush to reach their destinations in time for the festivities. The Transport Department has set up a major roadblock to monitor traffic flow and ensure safety. We take you back to our reporter Sidima Mfeku, who's on the ground at the Kei Bridge, bringing live updates on the situation on the ground. A very good afternoon to you again, Sidima. Of course, we know that law enforcement officials are not going to take anything to chance as they try and ensure that commuters and motorists alike abide by the rules of the law.
Certainly, Mpo, looking into every little detail of what could be missing from the vehicles that are coming here, from the roadworthiness of these vehicles to what is in the car, as well as, how valid is their driving licenses, looking into a lot of things like how some minibus taxis do not have safety belts, especially those that are transporting a huge number of people. We've seen a couple of minibus taxis that have got people traveling from as far as Cape Town that are making their way into the Eastern Cape, going to as far as some Queenstown and various other places. We had just experienced one arrest, though, recently that I understand that is due to driving under the influence of alcohol. But now to speak to us further about, what has happened so far throughout the day, we speak to the spokesperson for the Department of Transport, Mr. Unati Binose. So thank you very much for your time. Just take us through what has happened, especially the recent arrest.
Look, we've had various operations running simultaneously with this one. One of the biggest, this one, because it was led by the MEC. However, there's been another one taking place just outside Gqeberha and to Kangalbos, one of the busy routes as well. And numerous arrests were made there as well. Disturbingly, we continue to nab people that are driving under the influence of alcohol. We are pleased because it's a sign that our officers are working on the ground. But at the same time, we're also disturbed by this trend because it shows that the people are not listening to the constant messages that has been, shared with them on various platforms that we should not drink and drive, and they continue to do that. But we are hoping that by these continued arrests, we will send a strong message to other will-be drunk drivers that there will be zero tolerance for drunk driving. In a province like ours, where there's a relatively high unemployment rate, one does not wish to have a criminal record that will further minimize the chances of getting employment due to something avoidable like drunk driving. So we are pleading with our people that we'll take zero tolerance, as we have done. We'll continue to do so. We know that post-Christmas, going to the new year, there will be a high consumption of alcohol due to the festivities around beaches and stuff like that. We will be there to arrest those who are under the influence of alcohol, because we believe by doing that, we would have been saving a lot of lives, including the very lives of the people who would have arrested.
Quite a high number that you have reported in the past 2 weeks of 451 people that were arrested for drunken driving. Another one now. How well equipped is the department insofar as the deployment of officers across the province to make sure that they, can detect a possible drunken driver?
Look, we have teams scattered all across some of our major corridors, and we're grateful for the support that we've gotten from our colleagues at national, our colleagues at local government level. We are all working together to ensure that we eliminate those who continue to get behind the wheel under the influence of alcohol, and we hope that going forward this thing will be a thing of the past. But we are pleased by the numbers, as disturbing as they are, but we are pleased that we continue to arrest those people. And our history tells us that this day, the next 24 hours are going to be very critical for us, because our colleagues, particularly those who are working within the retail, they will be making their way away from the CBDs to their rural communities, townships, to spend Christmas with their families. So we still expect a high volume of traffic, and with that high volume of traffic, there's every likelihood that there will be some who will take chances and get behind the wheel under the influence, and they won't escape our clutches, I'm sure of that.
Well, it's been recorded that the number of fatalities on the road has gone down compared to the previous year, this time last year. We do also anticipate a lot of people who are traveling in huge numbers, like your buses, your minibus taxis. That is also always picked up as one of the triggers to the high number of fatalities on the road. Just speak to us about what may have been observed throughout these roadblocks about those travelers.
Look, we've got to pay a special salute to all our public transport operators, taxis, buses, because this year, unlike in years gone by, we haven't had many crashes involving public transport. And unlike in years gone by, I mean, last year we were talking about 3 major accidents that claimed collective lives of over 20 people, where 8 people had died in one, 7 and 8 in another one. And the worst accident we've had in the Eastern Cape so far, 6 lives were lost, and it happened in a very minor road in Ngeleni. So we're grateful, man. We've got to pay our tribute to public transport operators and encourage them to continue on that trend.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. That's a spokesperson for the Department of Transport in the province, Unati Binosa, saying that they are appreciating the assistance that they've been getting from drivers of major vehicles that carry a large number of people. As we're speaking to one of those drivers earlier on today, he told us that he's actually quite happy with these roadblocks being held because they often take the blame for accidents that happen that involve major vehicle drivers. When we're speaking to the MEC, he says that he has got all his officers on the ground looking at every entry point in the province, including those that are underlying or those that are not often used by motorists. Yeah. And we're going to be definitely looking at what is the roundup, the detail in terms of the numbers of arrests that have been made here, tickets that have been written for drivers, and all of that when we're completing this roadblock here in Kei Bridge.
Very well. Thank you very much, SABC News reporter Sidima Mfeku.